Hello, hello, hello. What? It's showing that you.
It's just
Okay. And the music's okay? Hold on. Tell me when you can hear the music. Hold on. Can you hear it? You can?
yeah.
Is it good? Is it too loud? What about now? Oh, hey Mike, what's up? I got my wife in here too, testing things, making sure my volume and my music and everything's good. And that it's not glitching. I'm just gonna build my vampire guy for a test.
I think it's much better.
It's smooth and everything, and like it's not super glitchy.
I don't think so.
All right, thank you. Give this guy a peek. I think I'm gonna do him with the bald head. This guy's really nice. I don't know why they like to scatter all the pieces all over the sprue rather than just keep them in numerical order. It's like they want you to solve a puzzle. Now I can record myself cutting my fingers. There will always be a recording of it. It's this nice little skeleton guy. The base on this guy is really cool looking. Really kind of excited about it. Could do a lot of cool stuff with this, I think. Just gonna clean off the flashing. Try to get all the mold lines off. I can't stand when I'm painting and I run into a mold line that I forgot. I think that's it. I don't see anything else. And I always like to dry fit. Goes together pretty nicely there. Time to get high on plastic cement. Smells so good. I wish it didn't kill you. And then I like to blend the seams with some. Get it nice and smooth. Even on the bottom here, because you never know what angle you'll have photographed when you're finished. A little mold line here, a little flash left. Let's just scrape that right off. I'll go back and I'll go back and sand that a little bit when it's totally dry. Looks like this guy goes here. Okay. I don't really know how he wants to sit in there. Let's see. It's gonna be a wily little guy here. Oh, that's why. I was putting it on the wrong one. There we go. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with these skeletons. Mostly because my army, I don't like skeletons and zombies, so I like the idea of them being like summoned blood, like blood monsters. Yeah, Mike, sorry, I'm bad at catching up on chat. Yeah, I'm still torn whether I want to use this one or the guy on the dragon for path, unless I just drop out of path. We'll see. But they're both such nice models, but this guy definitely has a lot more, like, I feel like atmosphere to him. Like, he just really feels like some cool Halloween gothic vampire. Just has that whole feel to him. I love the dragon, but the actual lord on the dragon is something about him is lacking. But definitely a big upgrade for the dragon. I hated the old zombie dragon. It looked so goofy. But this guy's pretty, I think he's pretty cheap too. I think he was only like 35 bucks. Maybe 35, maybe 40, which I feel like for this model, it's such a nice model. I feel like it's pretty good price. I can't decide if I like that they're getting fancy with their bases. Kind of removes a little bit of the creativity of basing. A little bit. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet. Because I really like this base, but at the same time, it almost forces you into wanting to use that. And not make up your own. Yeah, I gotta check, Mike. Don't hold me to it. I might be wrong. I just remember thinking he was going to be like 70 bucks or something. And being surprised that he wasn't. Uh-oh, I got options here. We can do... Which head do I want to do here? I don't know. Let's take an actual look at the heads. So this one has kind of like some armor on it. It looks like one's armored and one's unarmored, I think. This is a tough decision. I really don't know what I want to do here. So he's got... It's painted with the unarmored version, it looks like. You know what? I'm gonna pop them both out and build them both and see which one I like better. I could probably do both and magnetize them, but that's just really extra. But kind of cool that they gave you those options. They're giving a lot of head options, I feel like, lately. Really leaning into kind of the customization and the kit bashing. Even in White Dwarf, I feel like they have like whole sections now just about kit bashing. Alright, let me see between these two here. I'm not going to clean them up yet. I just want to see how they look. So I think the unarmored one lends a little bit to the sort of the creepy, raw, undead feel. Maybe. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can get this together more. I might just glue it. Let's just do that. So we got this head, kind of cool, and it's a very creepy sort of evil undead feel to it. I don't know if you can see that. Let's do the other one, which really is kind of... It's really the exact same head, it's just with that Blood Knight armor on it. I am kind of surprised they didn't give him a helmed option, like the actual vampire. Kind of hair or no hair. I like the no hair look. Reminds me of Hordak from Masters of the Universe. And I really like Hordak. I love his color scheme, and I used that scheme to kind of inspire my other Blood Knights. So I'm probably going to try to stick with that a little bit. I gotta remember I'm filming here, instead of building in my lap where you guys can't see. I think I might like the armored version just because it's not on the box. And I always like trying to go against what's on the box. See if I can get this. This one's got a weird seam. Yeah, and the armor on this one also kind of hides... A lot of times on their horses, they have this seam that runs right down the top of the head. And this armor piece hides that seam really nicely, so... I think this is going to be my choice. Show you. It's cool. And you can see what I'm talking about. I think I hit it a little bit with glue, but there's usually this seam that just runs right down the line here. But I like both heads. I just don't know. I do think I already messed up though, because I was supposed to put the head on before I glued it. But that's alright. I'll just break them apart and do it again. Now that I know what I want to use, let's do it. Yeah. I like that one. Let's put some glue down. Go. Yeah, I like the helmet. Helmet's pretty cool, I think. A little slop here where I had to break it apart. I'm just gonna go back in and smooth that. Hold that for a second there. Good, good, good. And I'll put this little guy in my bits box for later. Alright, so we got his head on here. I definitely am going to want to sub-assembly him, I think. So let me just feel out how the rest of him gets put together here before I go crazy. Ooh, this is a really weird piece. It looks like it's his saddle, his boot, and the horse's rear and front armor all in one piece. So that's going to be interesting. Let's see. See, it's got, it says boot. Everything's all in one hit here. I'm definitely going to want to put this on after, because I need to get in here, and this is just going to cause a headache, I think. So we'll clean that piece up and leave that piece off. I never want a sub-assembly. It's always, I feel like, my default to just build everything, because then you get an overall sense of composition and where your light's going to hit everything and shadows, etc. But I have been trying to get in the habit of at least getting all my base layers on and some initial textures down before I assemble everything, and then kind of adding the lighting and everything back in later after it's fully assembled. It's a work in progress I'm trying to get used to. But I do get really frustrated when I'm working on a piece and I can't, that I've already put together, and I can't go crazy on the detail on a certain area because I just built it. So that piece will set aside. Let's see what we got next. Looks like they did the same thing on the other side. But this looks like a pretty quick, easy kit. There's not a ton in here. Let's back out a little bit. I'll set that one aside, but I do want to just see how it looks on here. Yeah, it's tempting to put it on, but no, I'm gonna wait. I think it's gonna be much better if I wait. And my skeleton down here is not staying together as well as I would like him to. Should either go too light or too heavy with the plastic cement. Let's see. Alright. See if I can get most of the vampire built. This one. Oh, I'm missing a piece. What am I missing here? 13. And I hate plastic dust. Drives me nuts. All our puzzle pieces here. Let's Alright, that looks like a pretty reasonable piece I can build here, so... No need to sub-assembly each one of these little tidbits, thank goodness. And I see a piece of flash that I missed here. Gotta blend these seams again. All right. Looks like this is his arm, it looks like, holding the reins. This one's kind of awkward. So this is where I'm not sure. I always question whether I want to leave this kind of stuff off. So this covers, you know, this arm here. It's almost like he's got a shield. You know, I always leave shields off so I can get into these areas. So I think I'm going to leave that off on him as well. And I'm almost certainly going to wind up leaving the cape off, but let's just see. Like to do something fancy with his cape. Maybe some cool gothic like velvet, maybe like a red velvet, like real thick, heavy looking. Maybe put some like little patterns on it or something, or maybe like a satin with nice little gothic floral patterns or something on it. I don't know. Depends on how lazy I am. I always get these ideas for stuff and then I gotta talk myself into them. Because I know they're gonna take a lot of work. Let's see. You know what? I might be able to put this on him. Because... maybe not. Yeah. I want to be able to get in to these areas underneath. So I am going to leave that off as well. See what we got left here. Oh, look at, he actually comes with 3 head options. That's kind of cool. And my least favorite one is on the box art, which is nice. I like the, kind of like this one with the double-breasted kind of Gary Oldman hair. But I still think I'm going to go for the bald look. Huh. Oh, he's got weapon options too. Definitely going to do the sword because it seems more elegant and classy. And I like the idea of him being kind of a snob. I'm going to pop both of these heads out and look at them on the model. So here is that sort of double big hair Gary Oldman looking one. Uh-oh. Which I kind of like this. And it's a very androgynous kit. It could be, it doesn't have to be a man. I don't know. It's a tough decision. I do think I'm leaning towards the bald one, though. Just looks more evil to me. And I love painting flesh. So the more opportunity to paint more flesh real estate, the better. And not have to mess with hair. So I think we're going to do the bald one. Not a huge fan of hair. The bald one has a weird head angle. He's really looking back. But I like how kind of dynamic it is. And yeah. So I'm definitely not going to put the head together. I always subassembly my heads almost as a rule. Mostly because it just lets me get really detailed on the head. And it also lets me get a lot of this area back here that I'm going to want to do a lot of detailing on. I think I like the idea of their cowls having like almost red sequins on it. Yeah, Mike, thanks for still being here, man. I have no idea who's watching and who's not. I just keep kind of peeking over and it doesn't tell me how many people are watching, so I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. I like the head. I think it's a cool head, but I just don't think it's cool for him. And the hair, I know they want it to have kind of like a windy, like, ooh, spooky, but it just kind of feels sort of funny. I almost think I would like it if I got rid of all that and just made it like Gary Oldman's Dracula. Just like tapered it. Like I could probably just clip this off. Actually, I'm going to. Let's clip this off. And I'll put this in my bits box because I might use it. So with this clipped, you know, I could do... Wait for that to zoom in there. Come on. Like I could just green stuff the back of that hair a little bit and just make it look more rounded. And then I got a nice Gary Oldman Dracula I could put on like just one of my dudes just standing or something. Legoland. Oh, wow. You're hanging out at Legoland and you're taking the time to watch me stream. Thank you, sir. You are a stalwart friend. So for now, I'm going to put this in my bits box. And I am going to drill with my little hand drill here right into the bottom of this head. And so I do like the Games Workshop sub-assembly pieces, which I'm probably going to use on this one. These little guys. But I also sometimes just drill a hole, put a paper clip in it, and shove it in a cork, which works. But I reuse these, so I always try to scrape the primer off and sharpen the point a little bit before I do another. I usually can get about like 5 uses out of each one of these little pins. And I think it's only like 12 bucks, I think, for a box. And it comes with a ton of them. They're definitely helpful. So I'll just put a little glue down in there. And let's pin that head. I've never been to Legoland, Mike. Is it fun? I like Legos. I think that the Thunderhawks look like giant Lego spaceships. The Ultramarine Thunderhawk. There we go. Got my head pinned. And then when I'm done with that, I'll treat it like a sprue. And I'll just snip it right back off. And we'll be good to go. So his head is ready. Let's clip out his sword. Its axe is kind of cool too. I'll save that and use that on something else. But it's just it's cool. It's just very basic. Just kind of nothing fancy. It doesn't feel very vampiric to me. You know, I like the idea of him using some legendary antiquated sword that has some sort of magic powers or something, not just an axe he picked up from some lumberjack that he killed. So we'll put this in the bits box and cut out this sword. Where is Legoland? Is that oh hell yeah. Where I thought Legoland's in Florida, right? Are you in Florida? Or is there one here in New Jersey that I don't know about? Did I miss part of the information of this conversation, Mike? Oh, New York, okay. I had no idea there was a Legoland in New York. That's awesome. This sword feels way more vampiric and cool. It's got like a little bat hilt here. I'm digging it. Yeah, it's raining pretty hard, Mike. I'm guessing it's raining pretty hard there too. I wouldn't be surprised if you guys can hear it behind me on my window. Just pounding. So the sword. So one of the bad habits I have is attaching a weapon, fully building the figure before I paint the weapon. I don't want to sub-assemble just the sword, but I am going to attach it to him, and I just need to remember to paint it before I put it on the horse, before I connect everything. And I really like the positioning. Really like this guy's pose. Cool. Got a little bit of plastic cement here in this undercut, which I don't want to lose because it gives a lot of nice definition here between the arm and the hand. But I love this pose. It's like he's just kind of caught mid-stride. Like, oh man, I'm going to get you. Like maybe he was headed somewhere and then he just was like, oh, I'm just going to lop off this dude's head on my way. It's kind of neat. So we got that in. Picked out the head I want. And he's got like a little... Looks like a vial of blood and a dagger. That's the last piece. So very, very quick little model. I mean, I think this has been, what, 30 minutes? Very, very easy to put together. with some cool options. Considering Games Workshop, I think the price point is pretty nice for this one. Another crazy haired. I just don't like the physics of this hair. Like, nobody's hair is gonna do this. It's like almost like Venom symbiote. Let me put this one in the box. And I think I will put... I want to put this on him. I like the little vial. That little vial's got some potential there to be like a little bottle of glowing blood or something. Never a huge fan of the little willy-nilly grenades and stuff that you can just attach randomly to... I feel like there's never a good spot to put them where I want to put them. It's always very awkward feeling. Like this is supposed to just kind of connect and sit here, I think. I'll decide if I want to put that on later too. So that's it. Sprues are empty. I always just do one quick double check. Make sure I'm not missing anything. And then I keep a lot of these plastic bags on hand so I don't lose anything. And get everything in this bag. Go on now. Get on in there, horsey. Go on. And I will even take this head off. And he'll be ready to work on when I am ready to paint him. He's ready to go. And I will probably be logging back on in a little while. And I'm going to work more on my undead dragon. So I really want to put in some... I'm going to start doing a lot of texture in here and making him look kind of gelatinous. And like his skin is sort of see-through. I left his head apart right now because he's got like a tongue that I want to get painted first. But I'm excited to get going on this guy. I hate base coating everything. It's my least favorite part. But now that he's base coated, I'm pretty excited to get going. So I'll have kind of like this. I gotta get that tongue painted first, and then I can glue it in and kind of get some cohesiveness going on. No idea what I'm going to do with the wings, but if I'm going to keep him kind of plain and sort of albino and waterlogged and soggy and gelatinous, I need the wings to really kind of pop. So I really got to figure out what I'm going to do there. But thanks for hanging out. Anybody that is in here other than Mike and my wife, and anybody that watches this after, thanks for watching. And I'll be on probably a little bit later to work on this guy. See you, Mike. Enjoy New York.